Let's jump into problem 6.3a. This time we're the seller, not the buyer. And you're going to see dealing with inventory as the seller a little bit different. The following transactions occurred for Samco. October 5th, we sold $5,000 of inventory on account, and the inventory cost us $3,000. So something new is happening here. When you make an inventory sale, you also have to be worried about your internal costs. So when Walmart sells you a pair of socks for $5, they have a cost on the socks, something lower, right? They buy from their supplier, Hanes or Fruit of the Loom or whatever brand, Nike, Under Armour, whatever brand of sock they bought. If they're selling to you for $5, they probably bought it from their supplier for, let's say, $3, right? And they got a little $2 markup. Well, when you sell inventory, you not only are aware of the price you charge your customer, but you're also aware of the cost. And in this case, we're offering terms. So, there's more moving pieces to being a seller, and you'll see it's much more complicated than the accounting from the buyer's perspective. Well, much more, maybe that's too much to say, marginally more complicated. Okay, so let's get into it. So it's October 5th, and we're asked to do some journal entries. So sold $5,000 of inventory on account. Okay, let's deal with the sales revenue side of this. If I make a sale on account, I debit accounts receivable because, if they paid cash, I would debit cash, and I credit sales rev. And this is my price to the customer. I charge the customer $5,000. But at the same time, the customer walks out the door with some of my assets. I lose inventory because I'm shipping some inventory off to the customer. They're walking out the store with $3,000 worth of my inventory. That creates this new special account called cost of goods sold, which we can abbreviate as COGS. Cost of goods sold is a key expense account, and that creates the relationship. Sales minus COGS is gross profit. 5,000 minus 3,000. Our gross profit on the deal is $2,000. We made $2,000 on this deal, but of course we got other expenses. We got to pay employees. We got to pay to keep the lights on in our factory or our building, wherever, our retail store, property tax, all kinds of other expenses. But on this just pure transaction, we made $2,000 of gross profit on the deal. That's what we could say as of October 5th. Okay. Now remember, there's a discount offered if they pay quickly. Why do I want to offer people a discount to pay quickly? I don't want to deal with receivables, right? This is a way to reduce my receivables. I don't want to be calling them, collecting from them in a month and chasing them. I don't want to be a bill collector, and this incentivizes them to pay early. So it's a 2% discount if they pay within 10 days. And look at that, they do pay within 10 days. So how much are they going to pay me? $5,000, but they get to take 2% off the bill. 2% of $5,000 is $100. So they're going to pay me $4,900. That's how much they're going to pay me on October the 12th. So we're going to debit cash for $4,900, and we are going to get rid of the AR, credit AR, for $5,000 because we don't owe them the $5,000 anymore. We don't owe them anything. Now, what of this other 100? Well, if you tuned in for the previous videos in the series, you'll know, well, we're the buyer of inventory, we credit inventory. When we're the seller of inventory, we actually debit discount. And this is what screws students up because they go, I just got it through my head when I'm the buyer, I don't deal with a discount. As a seller, you do have a discount. They call it a sales discount sometimes. Our discount is $100. So what is happening here? Well, time to introduce a couple of new concepts. We've answered the question. This would be a correct answer. This is the journal entry for October 5th. This is the journal entry for October 12th. Correct. Beautiful job. So what's happening? Well, there's a concept called sales rev net. And if you look up your favorite company, if you look up Walmart, maybe I'll do that right now. Let's look up Walmart income statement. Walmart income statement. Sorry, I'll put this on screen in a second. Okay, so grabbed Walmart income statement. And the only thing I just want to point out is, look at that top line there. What is it label? Net sales. Net sales. So there's this concept of net sales that companies have to be worried about. What is net sales? It's sales minus any discounts that we grant, minus any returns. And we want to track those separately to know how much discount and how much return we're offering. So for for our company's net sales, we have sales revenue of $5,000. We have discounts of $100 and no sales returns in this one. There'll be sales returns in the next problem you see in the list. So our net sales rev net is $4,900. And again, it makes intuitive sense. Our sale, the net amount of our sale is how much we got paid at the end of the day. And we got paid $4,900 cash. So what is that relationship? And again, an important income statement relationship. Sales rev net minus cost of goods sold equals gross profit. So our net sales was $4,900. Our costs were $3,000. Our gross profit was $1,900. You often see this presented in a dollar amount, but it's very common to see this presented as a percentage, especially that gross profit number. So you set sales as 100%. You go, what is COGS as a percentage of sales? So our COGS is 3,000 divided by 4,900. It's 61.2%. And what is our gross profit? 1,900 divided by, again, just divide by sales. Every number is a percentage of sales, 38.8%. And you can bet any company that's a retailer looks at this number very carefully. They're focused on their margins. They want higher gross profit percentage each year. And when the margins, the gross profit percentages are shrinking, that is cause for concern for any retail store. So that stuff wasn't asked for, but it certainly could be. It's a very common thing for professors to ask about. I certainly ask my students about it. So I wanted to add that here to problem 6.3a. And if it helped you, I do hope you'll consider helping me by dropping a like. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. The next video in our series is right up here. And if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.